What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today, it's another poll watch video. I know we just did one of these yesterday, but a new poll from Emerson College has just came out for the great state of Georgia, and it's time that we discuss Georgia polls because we're finally starting to get some reasonable poll numbers from the state of Georgia, not from some bullshit pollster, from an actual pollster that, while the cycle has not been particularly the best, tries to get it correct. And it shows Republicans are leading in this race. And you look at some of the crosstab numbers like we'll look at today, Republicans, I think, have this race in the bag. Now, before I forget, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share it with friends, hit that little bell, and yes, of course, go follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, also join the channel. That is right, folks. For just 10 cents a day, you could join Real American Politics today. Recommend you do it. And yeah, so Emerson College. This cycle has been kind of bad, all right? In 2020, they were kind of bad also. But they try to get things correct. They're not like other pollsters that, you know, don't try. These guys try to get it right. They try to poll voters. And, well, they released a poll from Georgia, and it's within the margin of error, but it still shows Republican Herschel Walker with a 2-point lead over radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Yeah, I have to bring that meme out again because it's Warlock. What do you expect? But the point is, this poll has Republicans winning the governorship also by around 4 points. So, just like I kind of predicted, Brian Kemp is kind of going to run away with that race. I don't think it's really close at all. I mean, you look at here, Brian Kemp's at 48%, Stacey Abrams at 44%. It's not looking like Stacey Abrams is going to win. Now, the funny part is, inside of the same poll, it shows Trump at 50%. So, he's the most popular statewide Republican currently in Georgia. Does it say a lot about, you know, these other people? Like, you know, how popular Trump truly is now because people realize, wait, we want Trump again because this is not what we voted for. So yeah, the point is I want to look at today's, you know, crosstabs and all that good stuff. But before we do that, I have a good laugh for you guys. You know, for the rest of these videos, we're going to go laugh at a certain polling aggregate. Nate Plastic's freaking polling aggregate. What is this? Are you kidding me with this? So, somehow, alright, this is the logic that Nate Plastic is pushing. You have two polls in the last month, alright, that both have Walker up by 2 points. And the recent one has a likely voter sample of 600 votes, has Walker at 46 and Warnock at 44. Yet somehow, in some bizarre world, these polls from over a month ago, with essentially smaller sample size except Insider Advantage, but still it's a month ago, and a registered voter poll, somehow weighs more than an A- pollster from Nate Silver's own thing. These ungraded garbage polls, or according to Nate Silver, way more than the Emerson College poll. You see why I'm telling people, ignore this clown? Seriously, how do you get, you know, 2 straight polls in the last month? Walker at up by 2 points, yet it's somehow the race is actually tightened by only a half point. You see what I'm talking about. And of course the forecast, same frickin' deal. Oh, it goes from 48% to 50% Walker wins. Really? Yet polls from 6 months ago are more weighed in this same polling model garbage. Again, ignore Nate Silver. We're going to go over all of these states when we do poll watches for other states. I'm just showing you guys. This is freaking absurd. And look at this. The same model doesn't change at all for the popular vote. It changes by basically nothing. It's a total clown show, and this is why you should ignore clowns like freaking like freaking Nate Silver. And somehow, polls from July 24th has a higher weight than freaking, oh my god, than August 7th. Because, and August 1st, because that July 24th poll has Warnock up by 9. You see what I'm telling you, folks? Ignore this clown. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm sick and tired of this same crap year after year. So let's get to the actual poll. Let's see what it actually shows. So once again, I have the spreadsheet up. I know, I'm a bum. And this is the one part of the poll I wanted to look at. By region. Or I should say area type. You got urban, suburban, and rural. And this is the reason that I think that Walker's going to win by a big margin. I think he's going to win by a 4 to 5 point margin. So the remaining undecided votes, all right, there's basically nothing left in the urban areas. And let's say half of someone else, goes to, let's say a Warnock here, all right? So let's say he's at like 70% in the suburban parts, all right? Or something like that, or the urban parts. You go to the suburban area, a place Walker's winning by 8. This same region, you go down here to the Fox exit poll, all right? And again, some exit polls had Trump winning the suburbs. You look at where the suburbs shifted. I think Biden did win the suburbs in 2020 in Georgia. You just look at some of the exit polls. Biden won it by 12 according to Fox. Here, Walker's winning it by 7, or 8 I should say. But the biggest reason that I think that this race is going to get lopsided is, one, there's only 7% of suburban voters undecided. So even if every single one of them goes towards Raphael Warnock, Walker still wins suburban voters by a couple points in Georgia. That alone kind of puts this race to bed if this is true. But the biggest reason is this: rural voters. Look, they undersampled rurals by a heavy margin. I mean, seriously, look at this. They had more urban voters than rural voters. People need to understand Georgia has a heavy rural population. If it was the same, like, there's 120, sampled rural voters, 120 urban voters, it would still be a little too low, but more accurate than, heavily oversampling urban voters. And you look here, small town / rural was 35% of the vote. But either way, you look at this, 15.5% of voters in rural areas are undecided. You know what's going to happen with these voters, these rural voters? Look at Walker's margin. This is very small compared to Trump. Walker is at 58.2. Trump was at 65%. So the rural vote, there is serious room for Walker to grow in. And I firmly believe he will. Why? This happens every single time. Rural voters that are, or I should say voters in general, that are undecided, historically have favored the non-incumbent. Especially if it's in the reddest parts of the state like rural Georgia. And again, this poll heavily undersampled rural voters. So this really could be a more lopsided affair than this poll shows. So that is the reason I do think Walker's end of the day going to win this race. And you can scroll up here also, you can look at, what I mean by this. You scroll down here, where is it? Here. 63% of the sample was suburban, 22% was urban, 15% was rural. If you see what I mean, folks, they heavily oversampled urban voters, right, by at least 5 points, based on the Fox exit polls. Now, you can make the argument that maybe this is more correct because, Atlanta is so large. But based on recent history and basic data we got from Fox exit polls, which again, they're not perfect, but Fox exit polls in 2020 were, generally speaking, kind of right. There were some problems, obviously, but either way, it does appear that urban voters kind of got way too oversampled based on what I'm seeing here. Now, is there a chance that, they were actually, sampled properly? Yeah, but I don't believe so. Based on the data we do have, this should be a way more rural sample. And right here, folks, let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to find it, folks, before we end today's video. I'm trying to find the 2024 ballot to prove my point that Trump is unpopular as bullshit. Right here. Trump's winning by 5. In a state that he quote-unquote lost by like a half point. So while all these other clowns, are kind of underperforming expectations, Trump is overperforming his expected margin. But Trump is unpopular. No, he isn't. This kind of keeps proving my point that Trump is a lot more popular than people think, especially what's been going on as of late. So anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.